my name's Mika and this is a very different video from what I usually do. This is kind of my story, kind of what made me quit smoking and my advice to anyone who's trying to quit. So if you are a smoker or you have quit recently or you try to help someone in your life quit smoking, then hopefully this is an interesting video for you, so please stay tuned. So I should start telling you a little bit about my background. I had been smoking for a little bit over a decade and I am a proud non-smoker for the last 2 years. In fact, yesterday was my 2-year anniversary of being a non-smoker. Well, I started smoking by the usual method, kid in school. Everybody was doing it. It was a cool thing to do. You were kind of lame if you didn't smoke, so you pretty much had to. And I regret that moment for a very long time after that, because quitting is hard. So this is how I decided to quit, what made me make the decision. You know how you get the flu and your throat hurts and you think that if you ever saw another cigarette in front of you, you're gonna just throw it in the garbage and that's it, you're never gonna start smoking again. But as soon as you get back to normal, you're just back into the pit. So that was one of those times. But anyway, I quit cold turkey. And I believe it is about getting the one thing that works for you. For me, it worked. I didn't care about hurting myself, being someone who had their unfair share of depression. Hurting myself, believe me, was the last thing I was worried about. But I started watching videos about tobacco history, about what it really was. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about the product, how it came to the market, how it is the one and only product that hasn't been approved by anyone before it got on the market, and the evil ways of advertising companies used to do to convince people that it was the #1 most luxury thing, something they had to have. So that's what sold me. That's what made me quit, because I didn't want to give any more of my money to them. I didn't want to help them destroy any other child. And of course, I'm gonna link those short documentaries in the description down below. It's very interesting. So that's what made it for me, learning more about it and what it really was, what product it was, and how it is being advertised in other parts of the world. How children under 5 years old are still smoking, and how companies trick them into believing that it is a cool thing to do still. So let's move on to the more, I don't know, practical things that you can do if you want to quit smoking, what I did. So I remember that the first 3 days were the hardest, and 3 days are nothing. They pass by in the blink of an eye, but not when you're trying to quit. And you get these moments that you really want to smoke and nothing else would do. And believe me, I know where you are, been there, and it's hard. But if you think about it, it doesn't last very long. If you try and contain yourself for 2-3 minutes, then you forget about it. As weird as that sounds. Now, quitting smoking, as I said, it is a habit. So quitting a habit, and there are so many other habits associated with that particular one. So when you're trying to quit smoking, maybe you should change other habits as well. Like, for example, if you are used to having a pack of cigarettes where you're sitting in front of a computer, and maybe you shouldn't sit in front of the computer all the time now, or put the computer in another room of the house that you don't normally smoke. If you're not used to smoking in the kitchen, maybe put your computer in the kitchen. Lots of people say that it's a good thing to start exercising. I wouldn't advise you to join a gym if you don't like going to the gym. Maybe do something that you like. If you like playing basketball, maybe you should do that more often or start doing that. I'm very lazy when it comes to working out, so if I had joined a gym, that would have been additional work. Or I noticed that I never used to smoke when I was sewing, so I started doing that more often. Or maybe I should say by exercising, that maybe you can do something that keeps your hands occupied. Another tip is to keep reminding yourself why you're doing that. Maybe sit down and write a list of all the things that you want to improve in your life, how smoking is going to help you, and put it somewhere that you can see it often. The one thing that I can tell you for sure is that you have nothing to lose. By quitting, you can only gain things. Another tip is to distance yourself from places and people who smoke or where you used to smoke. For example, if you like to go to the bar and along with a drink maybe have 1 or 2 cigarettes, maybe this time go to the cinema where you're not allowed to smoke or other people are not allowed to smoke. You know, things like that. I used to stay at home a lot, but that wasn't really a big thing for me because I like to stay inside. And distance yourself from people who are not respectful. For example, if you have any friends around who you've asked them not to smoke around you and they just don't care, they keep doing it, maybe you should just delete those people. You shouldn't feel bad about it. The only thing that matters is you. It's you improving your lifestyle, and it's you succeeding your goal. If they don't get it, if they are making it harder, then you shouldn't feel bad about getting those people out of your life. There used to be someone in my environment who I've asked multiple times not to smoke in my house, but they didn't care. So every time they used to come over, they light up a cigarette like it was nothing. So that person had to go, and to this very day he's like, I don't want to say dead to me, but yes, he's dead to me. This next tip is not a big brainer. Everybody says that. Try to improve your health, your eating habits. Lots of people say that you gain weight when you're trying to quit, and that's true because you need to eat all the time. But if you think about it, what makes you want to smoke after a big meal is the type of meal you're having. So mostly you want to smoke after having pizza or hamburgers and big meals like that. But you don't really need to smoke after having a fruit salad. So try to get more of those foods instead. I used to brush my teeth more often because how many times you feel like smoking after brushing your teeth? So there's your bonus right there. Healthier eating, cleaner teeth. And my last tip is that if you're trying to help someone in your life to quit smoking, don't pressure them. A smoker is addicted to a drug and it's not easy, and having someone yell at you or constantly complaining about you smoking, maybe it's not what's gonna make them quit. Instead, try to be supportive. Chances are they are going to be angry most of the time, so please be understanding. So those were all my tips, everything that I did, everything that helped me quit. Maybe I have forgotten something, but those were the things that I could remember now. I hope this video was somehow helpful to you. If you're trying to quit, I wish you the best of luck. I know where you are, I have been there, and it's not a walk in the park. And I know this is kind of cheesy, and everyone who has quit says the same thing, but it's the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it's the one thing I'm most proud of. I will put every video that I have watched, every single one I can remember, in the description down below, so I strongly suggest you to check them out. And if you have any questions, anything you want to ask me, just put your question in a comment down below, and I promise you I will get back to you like I always do. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you now. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.